allow the Commission?
Well, there you have it. The ceremony is now done and dusted. Political parties have signed the IEC Electoral Code of Conduct pledge. All those who are represented in the National Assembly are here, the leaders are here, and they have signed, many of the political leaders, of course, using the occasion to bring up a number of issues that they are unhappy with. The one political party that is not represented here is the Economic Freedom Fighters. When we spoke to the IEC CEO earlier today in the morning, he in fact said to us that they have no party who has confirmed or said they're not coming here, so they were looking forward to have all the parties that are represented in the National Assembly. And so as the SABC News, of course, we will have to take that up with the Economic Freedom Fighters and find out indeed what has happened and why they are not here. They are the only ones who can, of course, give us the reason, the main reason, as we're looking around and trying to find political party leaders to come and give us their official reactions, we might have to actually go fetch them physically, because you know the perils of television, of live television rather. Political leaders can essentially just disappear on us, and as we move along, we will find one or two to hear their main issues. But also, as we do that, let's give you the numbers. 325 political parties are here. 325 political parties contesting the elections. Independent candidates contesting the elections are 1,718. Candidates nominated to contest elections, 99,116. We have Herman Mashaba. We had to go fetch you because we saw you sprinting out of this hall. Herman Mashaba of Action SA. We spoke to your chairperson earlier, number of issues that came out. What is your immediate reaction to the signing and the pledge that your party and other parties have made?
Well, I think this pledge is really very crucial for any democratic system to operate. So we're grateful to the IEC to really get all the parties really to commit to this pledge, and really hope and really pray that God gives us the wisdom to ensure that we respect one another as we contest. It's going to be a tough contestation out there. These coming elections on the 1st of November are going to be a defining moment for South Africa. Our country is on the verge of collapse. 54% and 45% of our people are unemployed. 12 million South Africans, 74% of our youth today. Our schooling system is dysfunctional. We are the meta capital of the world. South Africa has got massive challenges. Our cities are hijacked by criminal syndicates, where just in the city of Johannesburg, we've got over 300,000 housing backlog. So the new South Africa over the last 27 years has failed the people of South Africa. Only the politicians are benefiting out of this new democracy. Now, what we are saying to people of South Africa, let's take back the power from politicians. And we take the power from politicians. Let's come out in our numbers and change the direction the country is facing. Because if we don't do that, if we fail to come out and vote political parties out, understand that we as South Africans, we don't owe anything to the political parties, then they don't owe us anything. We must, our allegiance must be to the future of our country to succeed. Vote, learn as South Africans to vote political parties in, learn as South Africans to vote political parties out. And I really hope that people of this country can come out and vote political parties in and out. And all of us as South Africans, let us respect one another as we campaign. I've pledged on behalf of Action SA that we'll respect the space of other political parties to contest in a free and fair election. But however, it's not only us as political parties. We urge the IEC to please become and remain a Chapter 9 institution. Your responsibilities is to people of South Africa, not to political parties.
Mr. Mashaba, earlier on you had a number of complaints that you had a chat about with us pertaining to the IEC. However, we'll have to pick up those issues a little later because I see there's a queue. A number of other political parties would like to react to this. Thank you so much for your time, as always. Mr. Herman Mashaba of Action SA. We change tunes and we speak to Udada IFP Velenkosini Hlabisa. Thank you so much, Tata, for joining us. You may come closer to us, and your immediate reaction, you can keep your mask on if you would like. Your immediate reaction to the issues that came out of here, but also the pledge as you signed as well.
The IFP has signed the pledge as a commitment to a free and fair elections. We hope the IEC will ensure that everybody plays according to the rules. We have done our part as a party. Our party agents are well trained. We have enough manpower that will be monitoring every development during the campaign time and during the election days, the special voting days, as well as the actual day of November 1. We are ready for this election, and we hope all political parties will be watching with an open eye to ensure that there is no one who is benefiting unfairly, so that the voice of the people of South Africa, as they choose who to govern them in their locality, will be respected and be as they wish, with no unintended voting processes that can happen to hinder the choice of the people.
Dade, thank you so much for joining us. We have other political parties like yourselves who are lining up to give us their views. For now, my colleague Natasha Piri is with the Treasurer General of the African National Congress, Dade Paul Mashatile. Natasha?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much there, Yolisa. Indeed, I am with the Treasurer General of the ANC, Mr. Paul Mashatile. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC News, Mr. Mashatile. I mean, we heard you there on stage giving your pledge as a party, but also just to highlight and to remind, our SABC viewers, the Code of Conduct of the IEC actually promotes political, tolerance with other political parties. But I mean, we saw an incident about 2 weeks ago where ANC members allegedly prevented EFF members from entering a voting station in Guadambuza. I mean, what does that now signal for the ANC? And if the IEC actually finds those ANC members to be at fault, they might be penalized or criminally charged or even disqualified from the voting station. Is this something that you as a party have addressed?
Yes, indeed. We are talking to our structures everywhere in the country, including KZN. Obviously, if our members are at fault, the laws of the country must be implemented. We will continue to educate our members to be tolerant because we want free and fair elections. Where we're not doing well, we're losing, we want our members to accept. And that's the message that we have sent this morning, that we as the ANC pledge to abide by the Code of Conduct, and we're going to ask all our members to do so. And we want our members not to be involved in spreading fake news about anybody, any opponents, and we're asking other parties also to do the same. So yes, where there's wrongdoing by our members, we will take action.
Mr. Mashatile, your performance at the polls overall in 2016 was above 50% in Johannesburg. Today, right now as we're speaking, the new mayor of Johannesburg, Mr. Mpumelelane, has been elected. Are you happy with that candidate as a party? And under his leadership, do you think that, the numbers will actually grow up this year?
Well, we are confident that Mayor Mpumelelane will lead us well in the city of Johannesburg. He comes with a lot of experience. He has been in the private sector before, but he's also been in the mayoral committee. We also trust that he is a kind of man who will work with other political parties, the government of local unity, and we are confident that he will put priority to basic issues that affect our people on the ground.
Mr. Mashatile, thank you so much for your time. Let me just also bring in the leader of the FF Plus, Mr. Pieter Groenewald, who will be launching their manifesto campaign next week, Saturday. Mr. Groenewald, just tell us more about your manifesto campaign. What can South Africans actually expect from it?
Well, firstly, of course, we put in detail what we want to obtain in this election. But I think there are three main issues. The first one is that we will have to look at the civil servants on local government to ensure that they are qualified, that they are competent to do the job. Then, secondly, the main issue is also proper financial management. If there is money paid, for instance, for electricity, that it must be used for that. You cannot utilize it for something else. And then, of course, thirdly is economic development. And we say that when we speak about economic development, we must ensure that it can create jobs on local government level, because that is where you actually start creating jobs for South Africa. And we know that the unemployment is huge in South Africa. Therefore, those three main issues are very important to the Freedom Front Plus, and we will give them more detail for that. And I can give you one example. For instance, we don't believe in black economic empowerment, because that is detrimental to economic development. And the reason I say that is that black economic empowerment is misused to inflate prices. It is not the best price for the best product. And when we talk about personnel and also financial management, we will have to ensure that corruption must be dealt with severely. We cannot afford that anymore in South Africa, specifically not on local government level.
Mr. Groenewald, thank you so much and all the best for your manifesto launch next week, Saturday. Let me just also link back to my colleague Yolisa Njamela before we actually speak to other various political parties. Back to you, Yolisa.
We have lost audio there. My colleague Yolisa is she's just speaking to a leader of another political party to get their reaction about the signing of the Electoral Code of Conduct. We've seen so many parties making a declaration and reaffirming their commitment that they will abide and uphold the values of the Electoral Code of Conduct, insofar as ensuring that, we have, a free and fair elections. Now, we will be going to the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who